Doing pretty good? Seen some good stuff? Did you guys stick around for Miss Tara Jones just before me? Anybody stick around for that? That was good? Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're talking today about Roundpen 101. Roundpen 101. How many of you guys have worked with your horses in the Roundpen or plan to work with your horses in the Roundpen? Hands? Okay, we got a couple. The rest of you guys, I'm not sure why you're here. We're working in the Roundpen today. We're going to work with a horse at liberty in the Roundpen, and some of the stuff that we're going to be doing is working. If this were a horse I'm not able to touch, I can't get to yet. If this was a horse that was an unbroken, I'm just starting it, I would do some of these things. If I wanted to play with my horse at liberty and teach them things at liberty, these would be some of the things that I would start to do. I picked Arwen for this demo, one because I wanted to bring her to the expo, because she is a very, very hot, nervous, flighty, excited, everything that you don't want horse. As far as emotionally goes. She's a very, very emotionally unstable. When we brought her here, she actually just stopped weaving from Wednesday until a couple hours ago. So this is perfect for her because she needs to learn to be able to work in these environments, but it's been a very difficult process for her. So I wanted to bring her in there and use her for this demo, because hopefully this will help her understand that still in these times where it's emotionally high, it's a high stress environment, to still respond and learn to relax and follow my lead. So she's going to be perfect for this, as well as she's gorgeous, so that helps as well. Arwen I've had for, I guess a little over a year now. She was given to me by my wife. My wife bought her and realized, not what I want. So I inherited her, and we have a lot of fun together. She's going to make a great performer, or maybe she'll go on to somebody else and have a good life with them. Okay, so Roundpen 101. We're going to start out by just working with basic things. Hi, how you doing? We're going to get control of the horse's body and teach them to move the parts that we want to. So the idea of the Roundpen is that it's a continuous circle. I don't always work in a round pen. It doesn't have to be a round pen. It could be a paddock, it could be a square pen, it could be an arena. Any of these things work to do what we're going to do today. You don't have to go out and buy a round pen to make this effective. You can do this in the stall. I do this stuff sometimes. We have some weanlings, and we have yearlings at our farm, and sometimes I do this stuff in the stall with them, so they can learn it there as well. Anytime that you have an enclosed space, you can teach these things, and these are wonderful things for them to learn. So the first thing that we have to do, and the first thing that I have to prove to the horse, is that I control their feet. So the first way that how you doing? The first way that I'm going to do that is start to control her forward motion. If most of the time you get them in the round pen, they already have forward motion, especially if they're an unbroke horse. They're running around, they're a little bit hotter, they already have forward motion, then you go to controlling it. If they don't have forward motion, you need to get feet moving. If you don't have forward, you can't train. So we need to get the feet moving. Now you can do this with a lunge whip, you can do it with, oftentimes I use 2 dressage whips. I used to use a lariat rope a lot. Anything that you want, anything that you can reach out and touch the horse, or you can use it as a motivator is good. I used to use a lariat rope a lot, especially in demos, because I find it really, really effective, especially for more lazy horses. But oftentimes I get the comment that says, well, I fumble over the lariat rope, or I trip over it, or once I toss it out, I can't coil it up. So I'm going to use dressage whips today to show you a little bit of a different way to do it that might be easier. You're shaking. I'm sorry, you're shaking. That might be a little bit easier for some of you to grasp. Okay, so forward motion. Forward motion, or any motion, locomotion inside the horse, comes from the hind end. So this is a lot about energy directed to the horse. Where am I going to put my energy towards the horse? That's the part of the body that I want to move somewhere. This is all about the energy and speaking without having to vocally speak to the horse, but speak through body language. Horses are herd animals in that they speak predominantly through body language. So this is right off the bat, it's a way that you can relate to them that's a little more natural to them until we start teaching them a language that is different from what they know, and we can both understand together. So I start putting pressure to that hip, and that might mean that I walk towards it. It might mean that I slap my dressage hips. If I have a lariat rope, I might toss it towards her hip. But the first thing I want is just go forward consistently. So I want her to go forward. I'd like her to be out on the round pen. So I'm just going to wave my dressage whip towards her hip. Say, no, get on out there. And she says, Dad, we've done this at least once before, so I'd really like to be inside by you and do liberty work. Because we have done 1 or 2 sessions and played around with it. Right now I want forward consistently. If she decides to trot or walk, that's fine as long as she's moving forward. Right now she's not allowed to turn. I just want forward consistently. I'm keeping my energy towards her hip. I'm positioned with my energy directed right at her hip to say forward. That's where I want to put energy into. Forward consistently. Once I get forward consistently, then I'm going to start working on changing the direction that forward is going. Right now, I don't care about inside or outside turns. I just care about changing directions. That's it. Okay, so what part of the horse is the easiest to change the direction from? Well, right now it's going to be the front end. The back end says go forward. The front end's going to say change direction. So I'm going to redirect my energy towards her nose until she changes direction. As soon as she changes direction, I release that energy, and now my energy is back at her hip again. Go forward. Go forward. Good job. Good job. Energy back at the hip. Forward consistently. Energy towards the nose. Like I said, right now I don't care if it's inside or outside. There are specific situations where I determine whether I want inside or outside first. One of those particularly is if you have an aggressive horse. If you have a horse that you're dealing with that's aggressive, outside turns all day long until that aggressive nature is gone. Drive them out and away. Prove to them that you can drive them away. I have been told by a reliable source, I haven't experienced this myself, but from my study I've learned that when 2 stallions are fighting, no matter how long the fight lasts, whoever turns away first, they lost. They might have turned away in the first 5 seconds, and the fight might turn out to be 10 minutes long, but they lost 9.5 minutes ago. So if I have an aggressive horse, I'm driving him to the outside, I'm driving away from him, I'm proving that I own his feet and they must go away. Change directions and go forward. I personally like to make sure that after they change directions, they have energy that goes forward. Go forward. So we're just working turns. Forward motion, change directions. Energy towards the nose, change directions. Good job. Change directions. Good job. Okay, so we have forward motion, we have change of direction. If you do this, most of the time, if you just get that done and you start working on this, the horse is going to start to lock onto your body. Every time you move towards that nose, they're going to say, change directions. Move towards that nose, change directions, and go, and go, and go. And pretty soon, because it's their natural instinct to do so, they're going to do that. They're going to say, hey, can I join the party? It kind of stinks out here. This is work, this is more difficult. I'd really like to be next to you. And you'll see them start to desire to come inside towards you. That's a great thing. Don't indulge on it yet, but it's a great thing. We'll use that later. We'll use that desire later. The worst thing you can do is just stop and let them come into you at this time. So, now we're going to work specifically on outside turns. So now we've got change of direction. Wasn't specific, whatever way you want to change for now. Now I'm going to go specifically to outside turns. So it's the very same principle in that if I drive towards the hip, I want the hip to go away. So if I drive directly into the nose should go away. Or if I drive towards the shoulders should go away and turn to the outside. A lot of horses will have a desire to turn to the inside at this point because their desire is to be with you. Their desire is to say, hey, let's join the party, let's go. But it's important because you want to be able to teach outside and inside turns for more advanced liberty work. And just to be able to have that kind of control, to be able to push the horse away, draw the horse in and such without having to have something on them, it is important. So I go to the outside turn first, most times. So we're going to go ahead and get forward motion. Really quickly, just because it came to my mind as we were doing this, in a matter of a few minutes, we took a horse that was so concerned with everything else around us, and I need to get back to my buddy, to this. This is lovely. I like this. This is the horse that wants to be ridden. This is the horse that wants to go and play and have fun. This is the horse that wants to be bathed or clipped around their ears. This is a horse I can work with. This is a mind that I can work with. I've captured the mind, I've captured the feet. Now I get to mold it into something that's constructive and it's useful. So in a matter of just saying, move your feet forward, I control your direction, relax. You've given a horse that was distressed peace. That's really all the horse is searching for. It's searching for peace. It's searching for the quickest way to A to B. B being peace. Peace out in the field, eating grass. That's what they like to do. So I'm giving her the quickest option from A to B, and she knows, and she'll blow even more as we go along, that the best option and where she finds the most peace is right here with me. And then we can lead her through more stuff and teach her to trust even more. Okay, so let's go forward. We're going to do outside turns. Forward. Forward. Good. A little more forward, please. More forward, please. I love the stretch. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful, but forward. Okay, so energy towards the nose. She's going to want to come inside, but I need to drive that nose away from me. Drive the nose away. Nope. If she does that, she needs to go right back and turn around. Nope. Good. Turn away. There you go. Now, for the first time that they do it, as soon as they turn outside, just sit there. Awesome. Great job. All pressure gone. You have peace. The first time you teach something, this is important. This is very, very important. She just got it right. I need to make sure that everything in my bone and every bone in my body, any energy that I put out says peace. That's right. You got it. So we'll go again. Go forward. Go forward. Go forward. Energy towards the nose. Nope. Energy towards the nose. If they turn into you, drive them forward. Say, nope, get back out there. Energy towards the nose. Nope. Nope, figure it out. You're good, girl. So especially because there's a moment there that says, I don't know exactly what you want. I think I'm supposed to turn inside. I would love to turn inside. When she gets it right, relax. And then we go again. Go forward. Outside turn. No, forward. Outside. Good job. Outside turn. Good job. Outside. Great job. Good. As far as the dressage whips go, or the lariat rope, or the lunge whip, it's the same as your pressure. Wherever you want the pressure to go, that's where they go. So right now I'm driving the hip. My dressage whips are out here, pushing the hip. If I want the nose, they switch towards the nose. Good job. Switch. Good job. Good for you. Isn't she gorgeous? I could just sit here and just watch her all day. It's nice. She's pretty. And she just moves around like an athlete. She says, yes, I am. I love her because she's extremely expressive. If you go on my Facebook, there's some photos of her, us working at Liberty, and she's just so darn expressive. I love her. She's 7. She's an Andalusian, 7-year-old Andalusian. My wife saw her online. She was in California. We were in North Carolina. She said, husband, I must have it. I said, yes. If you sell the other one. She said, I can do that, maybe. We have both. And more. Good, relax. Not there, though. Good. Okay, questions on that so far? Questions? Pretty simple, yeah. Because her desire is to come into me, and if she already has a strong... The question was, why do I turn to the outside first? Usually, okay, if it's an aggressive horse, outside. If it's not an aggressive horse, their desire is already to come inside. That's easy. So if I teach them inside right away, they'll lock onto it, and you'll never be able to teach the outside. It'll be so difficult and confusing for them. So I want to, and it's important in the beginning to teach the horse that I can push them away from me. It's very important, especially with pushy horses. If you have horses that are all over you, pushy, outside turns. They got to know that when I come into you, you need to go. It needs to get out of the space. This is my bubble. This is my comfort bubble. And if I direct that energy towards you, you got to leave that bubble. So it's important that they learn to move away first, and then I can start drawing them in. Oftentimes, if I draw them in too soon, you can develop aggressive behaviors. It does happen every once in a while. So I like to teach the outside so that any moment, if I go towards them, they're thinking, okay, what do I need to do? Back away, where do I need to go? Where do you want me to go? Rather than always just drawing in. Does that make sense? Outside first. Yep, and then once the outside's fairly solid, then I'll start teaching the inside. The other reason is because I need them to be separate cues. I need the horse to learn that pressure towards you doesn't mean move into that pressure. But it's natural at first to be able to put pressure towards them. It's easy for us to understand, it's easy for them to understand. Later on, well, right now we're going to start teaching the inside turns, and that's drawing the horse in and speaking to the outside of their body rather than the inside body. Sometimes it's a little harder concept to understand. So if they already have a desire to come inside and you act like you're teaching them, sometimes they miss what you're actually teaching, which is control their outside of their body. They just come in because it's what they want to do. They have no understanding of what is his body actually telling me that says come in. So if I teach the outside first, it clarifies that a lot for them. Very good. Another question. Question. That's her reward. Yep, that's it. That's all she needs. She needs to know that her reward is when I get to be peaceful and consistent. So when she does the outside turn, I'm quiet and I just say forward. And as long as she's relaxed and forward, that's her release. The pressure, okay, so we think about it in a formula: motivator, spot, direction, reward. Motivator is what creates or inspires a change. The spot is a physical spot on the horse or something that I can see. The direction is where I want it to go, and the reward is what makes them want to do it again. So for me, in the outside turn, the motivator is pressure from my body moving towards her. The spot is her nose, her nostril, the one on the inside. And the direction is away from me. So the reward is that she no longer feels pressure towards that spot. So I'm starting that language right now. It's the same language I'll use up in the saddle, but I'm developing it here first. I'm going to ask you a question, I'm going to put on a pressure, and when that pressure disappears, you did it right. So sometimes that pressure disappears, but they still need to go forward. When we're riding, we say turn right, but still go forward. So if we quit everything every single time and say, hey, that was great, or we toss them a treat every single time, they realize that, oh, once I do it, I'm completely done. No, there's still work to be done. We need consistency, but you did it right. Great question. All right, any other questions before we move on? Perfect. Good job. Good job. I do kind of have a special place in my heart for this horse, I will admit it. I love Colt. Many of you have seen Colt. Colt's a great performer, but Arwen, being a little bit of a troubled soul, she holds a special place in my heart. Okay, so we need forward. More forward. All you had is forward before. Forward still, that's your own stuff. I know I love myself. Okay, so we have outside turns. I'm going to start working on the inside turns. Now for the inside turns, good. For the inside turns, I'm working with the outside of the body. So I like to think about it this way. I have a water cannon in my hand. This is my water cannon. I want to hit the outside of her nose with the water cannon. So in order to do that, I have to send water to the fence, all the way around the outside of the fence to her nose. I can't do that if I put pressure straight into her. So I have to shoot the fence, and then the water will bounce off the fence and hit her outside of her nose. So I take pressure off, send it towards the fence, pushes the outside away. Now they don't always get it that easily right away. It doesn't happen that way. She's done inside turns before, so she knows when pressure comes off, draw towards me. So at first, they might instantly go for an outside turn. If they do, if they instantly think outside turn, which they will at this point in time, go straight back to the hip and drive them back forward the direction you were going. So if we're starting left, we're going left, and I start to draw back, inside turn, it's yours. Forward, forward, yeah. I'm drawing away, I'm turning my shoulders. If she were to turn outside right then, I would be booking it back to here, driving that hip and say, no, close the door. The more you can get in tune to when you feel their shoulder and their nose start to go outside toward the fence, immediately back towards the hip and say, no, go forward. Your forward is your correction. Say, reestablish, get the forward. If they're going forward, they can't turn to the outside. So reestablish the forward, then immediately ask again. It's kind of funny because sometimes when you do this with unbrokes or ones that are really new to this, you're kind of like, inside, no, inside, no, inside, no. And you go back and forth a couple times, but it's necessary so that they understand right away that's not the answer. It's funny because you look like you're a skater. You're like skating and skating and skating and skating back and forth. You're a skier, but the first couple times it takes that. The quicker you can get back to that hip and say, no, that's not it, go forward, the more likely they are to say, that's not it, what else is there? And then they'll start to process and develop. It's critical thinking. Teaching the horse critical thinking, it's very important. Horses are very intelligent animals, but unless we teach them how to use that intelligence, it doesn't always develop. So we're creating critical thinking horses. Okay, so no, forward. She's on the money. She says, I got it, turn. Taking the pressure off, shoulders are going away, bouncing the water off the panels, and then go forward. Yes, shake your head and get knots all in your mane so I can take them out later. I will kid you not, we bathed this horse 2 hours this morning. Bathed this horse, washed her mane, washed her tail. We're walking her right after her bath. She shakes her head, 3 huge knots. Took me forever to get them out. That's all it took. So drive forward. I'm not going to ask her for an inside turn until I feel she's no longer thinking outside. So there, she stops thinking outside. I take the shoulders away. She's thinking outside turn. I'm there, I'm there. I'm saying, no, that's not the answer. Again, I turn away. She's thinking outside. I'm there. Good. She's thinking outside. I'm there. This is the cat and mouse I was talking about. Inside, relax, go forward. Drawing away. Good. Go forward. Stepping back, drawing away, turning the shoulders. Good job. Keep going though. Stay forward. Walk is fine. Drawing away, shoulders. My eyes are to her, but my shoulders are away. My shoulders are going around to the outside of her body. Go forward. Inside turn. Nope. Inside turn. Nope. Inside turn. Hey, good job. Think about it. Nope. Inside. Nope. Inside. Good job. Inside turn. Good job. Inside turn. Good job. Inside turn. Thinking, thinking. I'm moving to the outside of her body. She's thinking. That's good enough. Inside turn. Good. When I first learned these, I was in Colorado with the great Mr. Josh Lyons. And he said, do you have the inside turns? I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, do 1,000 of them. I said, what? 1,000 of them in a row. If you missed one, you went back to 0. We didn't get to 1,000. But I understood the concept. I got the message. Nope. Missed it. Good. inside turn. Make a decision. Nope. Once they start to get to the point that they know the idea of the inside turn, I'm going to ask her to make a decision a little sooner. Make a decision. You'll notice that I often kiss when I'm asking for the inside turn. That helps me later on when I'm working on a come to me cue or a run to me cue, or doing liberty work if I need to call them very quickly and say, hey, get over here. The kiss translates to eyes on me. Eyes on me. Eyes on me. Eyes on me. Good job. All the way. Okay, we're gonna let it take a break. Good job. Okay, so questions on the inside turn. Questions on the inside turn. So this is just starting the idea of drawing them into you. Drawing them in, drawing them being comfortable, yes?
What if they get right to the canter as you're trying to teach them?
If they go right to the canter?
You still continue the same thing? Or?
Yes, same thing. Turns. So as soon as they get to the round pen, they're booking it, they're gone. Turns. If they turn, they slow down their feet, right? So use the turn to start slowing down their feet. I'll do repeated turns. Turn 3 steps, turn 3 steps, turn 3 steps, turn 3 steps. And by the time they either get tired or they start to realize, this is way too much work. You know, why don't I just trot or walk? And then when they do break gait and keep that gait, whether it be from a flat out gallop to a trot, then I just let them relax and go around with constant just pressure towards the hip a little bit. And then maybe I'll work some more. Turn, 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 turn. Oftentimes at that point, if they're a speedy horse, they're thinking outside turns and it's fine. So just turn, 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 turn until I can get them back down to a walk. And then if I can take that energy, bring it down, then I start to teach them to bring it up. So I can use the turn as a transition with that kind of horse. I can say, bring your speed up, trot, turn, slow down, walk. Bring your speed up, trot, turn, slow down, walk. I can always add the energy in later when I need it, but the transition at that point will teach them that the energy is dictated by my energy, not just theirs. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so turns. Constant turns until there's no more need, and then let them sit. Sometimes, oftentimes with a horse like that, letting them just sit and stand still is great, because then they realize, that sucks. They realize that this is better. Arwen, back in the stalls, 2 days, she's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it's what she needed to do. She needed to be here doing that to realize it's okay. What I think happened is that she got so exhausted that she had to sit still. And then when she sat still, she said, oh, I'm not gonna die. And so she would start nibbling on some hay, take a drink, she'd go back to weaving a little bit, and then she'd get tired, and then she'd sit and realize, oh, I'm not gonna die. So 1.5 days later, you know, I take my other horse away, which would be usually a time where she's trying to climb over the walls, and she says, it's not worth it. I think I'll eat hay. This is a lot better. So just the same with the round pen horse, it's the same idea. Let them realize that, get them to the point where you can control the feet, and then realize this is a better place. This is a peaceful place. Good. Great job. Yeah. Yes, okay, so the question was, have I had experiences where I'm doing this and I draw the horse into me and they come at me, they charge right at me. So, and that's one of the reasons I was saying before, it's important for me to teach the outside turn first. If I drill that outside turn in first, most of the times that will not happen. If it does happen and that horse starts to look like it's going to come into me, bam, outside turn, get out of here. Get out of here. I have so much softness in those shoulders and that nose that at any moment I can say, bam, get the outside turn, outside turn. If I feel that at all, especially with a horse that I already know has a tendency to be aggressive, and I can see it in their body language, you can feel it, it's there. Outside turn, outside turn, outside turn until it's gone. That may be several sessions. That might be several weeks, depending on how bad the horse is. But outside turn, outside turn. Now, mixed in with that, I'm giving them chances to relax and have peace and realize we're partners in this deal. We're in it together. But you can have your peace, but I need the response when I need it. So It's important that they have rest, but outside turns, yeah. Comes right at you. Yeah. So if, probably not, I don't think so. I think that's just in her mind, she's thinking herd instinct, I need to be top of this herd. So you're the obstacle in the way of that. Oftentimes with those horses, I will use a lariat rope. Something that as soon as I see that ear go back and that eye towards me, that lariat rope's flying right towards their jaw. And it says, jaw, get right away. Go away now. Yep, drive that away. Yeah, don't go this step until there's no more feeling of that and there's just outside turn. Yep, if I feel, even once they know the outside turn pretty well and there's hesitation and they give me that look, that lariat rope's flying and saying, I need it now. There's no question. There can be no question. Your safety is way too important for that. There can't be a question. Yes, it is a partnership, but the partnership is slightly an illusion because it's a dictatorship. I need it to happen now. If it happens now, we live in peace. But if you're gonna fight me, then it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. So outside turn. Yeah. No, it's not, especially at first. So the question was on an inside turn, if they stop and spin to the inside on their haunches, is it a wrong answer? No, it's not. Eventually, they oftentimes will start to say, hey, this is way too much effort, I'm gonna make a big sweeping turn rather than a quick turn. They usually get to that point. If they don't, I'm gonna ask for another inside turn as soon as they're finished the first one. So as soon as they're done turning, I'm asking for another inside turn already. Until they start to get into that turn and they're slowing their feet down and saying, no, this is slower. This isn't just spin on my haunches and get out of here. This is, what am I gonna do next? So I'm going inside turn, inside turn, and what we're gonna get to is I start to use that just to control the shoulders themselves rather than the whole body, which is what we're gonna get to next. Great question. All right, before we move on, any more, real quick? Any more? I trust her, she knows it already, so she's allowed to be here. As long as she's not pushing into me, if she were to touch me, that would be, depends on the horse. Yeah, she can be close to me, it depends on the horse. She's cutting in because she's being lazy, and it's easier than making a turn and going out. How do I correct that? Is from, the outside turn, we could drive the shoulder and the nose away. Well, after she makes that inside turn, she's here, she wants to come towards me, I'm driving this outside shoulder back to the rail. So let me show you that. So we're going forward. I ask for an inside turn, I draw her towards me. As soon as I can see that outside eye, I'm gonna start moving towards it and say no, back to the fence. Again, draw it towards me, outside eye, I'm going towards it. I'm saying no, back to the fence. So as soon as she completes that turn, and so if the horse is on the fence, she's right here, she's making that inside turn, I can see this eye, I'm walking towards it, and this shoulder to say, complete your turn, go back here. And so I start working on that. As soon as the inside turn comes, I drive the shoulder back until they can turn actually on the fence. It depends on your goals. For her, because I want her as a liberty horse as well, I like her drawing into me. But great question, very good. Yeah, it's shoulder control. Okay, so we're going to start working with her shoulders. I'm going to ask her to come inside, and I'm just going to let her relax. Usually by the time you've perfected the inside turns, they're going to start to have a desire to do this. Just come in and just slow down. If they don't, if they immediately shoot off, that's what we were talking about. Where'd you go? Yes, that's what we were talking about as far as rapid inside turns until they slow their feet down. I can do inside turn almost immediately. As soon as I see that eye, I'm going for another inside turn so that they're stuck like, what do I do? What do I do? And then the feet just stop. So you can get to that point if they start to bolt off. So when I get to the point that they turn inside and they can stop, most of the times they're going to come into me. Excuse me. I'm going to start working on her shoulders individually. What I mean by that is I want to be able to take this shoulder and move it over and forward, or this shoulder and move it over and forward. What I'm looking for is that this leg right here steps forward and across with her nose staying towards me. this leg here, steps over and across. So just as we put pressure towards the hip to go forward, pressure towards the nose to go away, now I'm going to put pressure towards each shoulder to say step over and across. So I'm saying forward motion, I start to step very lightly towards that shoulder, more energy, energy forward. If she goes away, go away. We'll go back to that. You're supposed to go away. So even though she went out away from me, I still at some point, that foot stepped over and across. We're going to do it again. Right there. That's all I'm looking for. As soon as I get that, I stop. Everything stops. That's all I want. Then I go again. My energy is towards that shoulder. Shoulder go, and stop. Shoulder go, stop. Shoulder go, stop. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. And it only has to be one step. Whatever they do afterwards is fine. It's just that one step, that shoulder goes over and across. And then I say, that's all I needed for now, go ahead and stop. If they make that step and then they run away, a lot of them are going to do that like she wanted to in the beginning. They're going to take that step and then they're going to go, I'm out of here. And they run to the outside, pursue them. Pursue them. It doesn't have to be high energy, go after them. Eventually it might be, but right now pursue them. Put pressure on them saying inside turn, inside turn, inside turn, right away, right away, right away, until they come back to the inside. So if she were to leave, if she were to say, oh, take that step, oh, I'm out of here, then I'm pursuing, I'm running after her, I'm saying, no, inside, 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 until she turns inside, and then everything goes away. And I relax. And she starts to walk towards me, and I say, give me that shoulder. And she goes away, and I'm like, inside turn, inside turn, inside turn. Here we are. Relax, shoulder, you're done. So that might happen a good bit at first, until they get to the point where step, done. That's all I need. Step, done. Now just for giggles, for those of us dressage people, what are we doing here? Shoulder in around the circle. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting shoulder in around the circle at liberty because of the way her body is moving. Look at the lateral movement of it. The shoulder crosses over. The hind end, the hind foot is stepping over and under, shoulder in around the circle. I'm teaching a balance and a movement and a lateral movement that I will use later on when I get in the saddle to strengthen and balance the horse. I'm teaching it right now before I even hop on their back as an unbroken. This is a wonderful thing for them to learn and be familiar with. Oh, you're fine. Did I scare you? So, shoulder. Then I start adding more steps. Shoulder, keep going. Shoulder, keep going. Shoulder, keep going. Shoulder, keep going. My focus is right here. Shoulder, keep going. Shoulder, keep going. People always ask me, well, how do you get the horse to bend in towards you? How do they keep their eye on you? It comes back to the principle of the shoulder in. The shoulder in is about bending. It's about bending the horse and teaching it balance. So if I tell her to move this part away, the rest of the body wraps around it. I'm teaching a leg yield. I'm teaching softness to my leg. I'm teaching shoulder control. I'm teaching lateral movement. I'm teaching all of that right here that says soften this area of your body away and the rest of it bends around it. So we're getting into dressage. We're getting into performance work. We're getting into setting up for a rollback. If I have a cow horse, we're getting into setting up for a good spin. One of the exercises I love when I'm doing my spins is actually a slight shoulder in around the circle. So this hind leg is stepping up, it's stepping deeper, I'm loading it up, and then I release it to the inside and go. The release becomes the spin and the speed. They hunt it, they go for it. We're teaching the same thing right here. Hand me your shoulder, bend me your body. Bend your body. Right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good. And you'll find that as you teach this, that happens. I start to draw her in as the inside turns, she comes towards me. So shoulders, move away. Come towards. Shoulders, move away. Good. That's the response I want. That's why I taught the kiss earlier on when I was doing the outside turn. She started to get farther away from me. Immediately I kissed and said eyes towards me, and the response is there. I didn't have to sit there and hammer that into her. Every time I asked for an inside turn out there, I kissed to her, and the natural response is I heard a kiss go inside, eyes towards me. It's something I put into her instinctually. So we're going to work on this other side. Shoulder, go away. There she goes. I'm pursuing. Inside turn, inside. Nope. Inside turn, come back towards me. Good. Shoulder, right there. That's what I was looking for. Good. Ask again. Shoulder. Move. Inside turn, inside turn, inside turn. Good. Shoulder. Yes. Good for you. Shoulder. Go forward, inside turn, inside turn. There, good. And just keep going. I'm going to do the Pirelli and Clinton thing. I'm going to stand in the middle. She's going to move around me. You're supposed to keep moving. Inside turn, inside turn, inside turn. Shoulder. Shoulder. Inside turn, inside. Nope, not outside. Try again. Inside turn. Inside turn. Shoulder. There you go. So that's a breakthrough in her mind. She was thinking, go away. For a moment she says, I'm supposed to be running right now, but the brain's critical thinking process, the wheels are turning, and she says, what happens when I ran away? He asked me for an inside turn. She went 3 foot and she said, all right, I'm coming back, because that's what he said. That's what we're looking for. That's the critical thinking process that I want to see inside her brain, and I get excited about, because I know she's going to be able to figure out problems later. And then we start connecting steps. Shoulder. Shoulder. Okay, now because I've taught both shoulders, draw, other shoulder. Switch directions. Hello. There you go. Good. Draw. Shoulder again. Draw. Switch, other shoulder. Good for you. Good job. A little more energy, a little more shoulder. Inside turn, inside turn. Good. I want to know that if I put pressure towards that shoulder, the shoulder continues to go away and she stays locked onto me, not that she runs away. So I'm walking into her shoulder, I'm driving her away, and I'm saying, come on back, come on back. So I'm going to walk into the shoulder again. So there I put a little pressure on, it was a little surge that said, give me more shoulder, and she gave me more shoulder rather than ran away. So it took those 3 times of running away to confirm in her mind, more pressure to the shoulder is not the same thing as more pressure to your hip. So if I'm doing lateral work in the saddle and my leg comes on, and I have the energetic horse that wants to speed forward because one leg came on, it's the same thing, same exact thing. It's the same thing, and that leg is exactly what I'm doing right here. So if I'm in I'm gonna think of it, leg yield. I'm in a leg yield, and I need more rib cage. I need more inside hind leg. And I put that inside leg on, and the horse automatically bolts forward, same problem. I want to know that if I put that leg on, I get a push with that inside leg that goes across. Not just surge forward into my hands. Same principle I'm teaching right now before I even get in the saddle. Same idea. So that she's soft to it when we get up there. And she understands it when we get up there. I gotta keep an eye on time because I can go forever. Alright, we got 4:46. Questions on that? Questions? Questions. Does it make sense? Yeah. It does make sense. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have a DVD. The biggest thing I can point to you to as far as this Roundpen stuff goes is Actually, Josh Lyons has a foal handling DVD that he does this with the foal. So that would be a great one to learn from because it's slow paced. The foal is obviously, you don't want to work the foal to death. So it's a little slow paced, it's very articulate, really, really great DVD. So I'd recommend that. That'd be great. Other questions? Other questions on that? Inside turns, moving the shoulders. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more. No questions? Good, let's play with it a little bit more. She's thinking about going away. I'm going to pursue her. Nope. Nope. Well, that was the wrong way, but you had the right idea. My little bullfighting horse. There. Good. And change your shoulder. Go forward. Yes, good. The one nice thing I will say about doing this in a round pen, as opposed to a big arena, is when you get to this level and they run away, you don't have to go very far. We used to do this in a big 100 by 200 arena, and I had to run a lot. Good for you, yeah? Switch. Good. Good decision. That was a good decision. Critical thinking. Lovely. Same shoulder. Same shoulder. Same shoulder. Good. Shoulder. Good. Shoulder. Right away. Good. Shoulder. Good. Draw. 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 Relax. So you start to work it up. Make the turn sooner. Test it. See how strong your cue is for that shoulder to come to you. And make it a little bit quicker. Make it a little bit faster. She's about ready to the point where I would start bumping up speed. I would say in that circle, now I've been controlling your shoulder. I'm going to engage your hindquarters, say go forward, but still stay here. The same thing's going to happen. She's going to want to run away and go out. And I'm going to have to pursue her and say, no, draw back in. Draw back in. Let's see if we can play with that a little bit. So my dressage hips towards her hip are the energy. It's not bad. I'd like it closer. So I'm going to say inside turn. Inside turn. No. Nope. Try again. Inside turn. Inside turn. There you are. Good. Shoulder. This side already has a little bit of a tendency to want to go out, so I'm going to work on the other side first, as far as picking up the speed. You can do this with a halter on. Lovely. Good job. Good for you. You can do this with a halter on and start teaching this stuff with a halter on and get it really, really perfect and take the halter off. But where's the fun in that? They can't run away. The wonderful proof of this is that I'm teaching her this is a lovely place to be. And we can partner and we can work with this. So if she doesn't have the option to go away, what's the real use of it? It's just practical. It's just training. I don't want to just train. I don't want to just be practical. I can do that in the saddle all day. This is a time to develop a bond and a friendship with a horse. This is a time to have an animal that follows me more than my dog. No, that's not true. My dogs are great. But this is a time to really have fun with them and make something special. Make something really, really special. The horse that learns to do this without something on her is the horse that will stay. It will stay. The one that had a halter on it the whole time, it has the option. It can say, I can hightail it. I know I can. So we work here. All right, she did that really great. She gave me a little energy. We're going to try again. Right away, there's energy. It's farther out than I like. I'm going to pursue her. Good. Good for you. After I pursued her, I let her relax for a second, just up the walk. My dressage hips raise. More energy. Good. There was try. There was a lot of try. It stayed closer. Her nose is inching that way. She's like, bend, bend. She's trying. So reward for that. Good job. That's what I'm looking for. That's in the right direction. You're headed the right direction. Let's guys again. Here. Good. Good for you. You don't have to try yet. I know you want to. You're going to try. That's lovely. Good job. A little more. A little more. Yes. Yes. Good. You're trying. You're trying. Good job. Good job. A little closer, please. Good. Not change your direction, just a little closer. There. Good. Good. How many of you guys have horses that run from you in the pasture? Nobody has horses that run from you in the pasture? Really? You guys need to be in here teaching this if you don't have a horse that runs from... Not one? Not at all? We're talking no food, nothing. You got one. I have an honest person in the crowd. There is one. If you have a horse that runs from you in the pasture, teach this. This is a come to me cue. This is your blazing speed away from me. I kissed you. I need your eyes. I need them now. This is important. This is really, really important to teach. For that reason alone, it's really, really important. My horse Colt that I've done this a lot with in the past, he can be a little bit of a stinker sometimes out in the field. He really can. He likes to play and dodge and weave and do little barrel patterns to the other horses because he knows he can and he can hide. He will literally, he will go behind another horse. Hey! And I will go to that side and he'll go, hey! He will just do that. And ears perked, nickering, he's having fun. He's having a blast. And he will go from horse to horse and do that. And as cute as it is, it's annoying. So, by doing this, we've created a way that says, I see your eyes, I'm kissing to you, come to me. Move your butt, and then come back to me. I've taught that in the round pen, I've taught it in a larger paddock, apply it with horses' everyday life. When you get this taught, do it with multiple horses inside the round pen. Bring another horse in. Do it with another horse. She understands right now, I get to relax and sit. I'm going to go pay attention to the other horse, and I'm going to move. And I'm going to work with them on her shoulders. If she follows, no big deal. If she doesn't, that's okay. She's sitting there, she's relaxing. And then I tell that one, go sit still, you're done. Go play with the other one. Do them both together. Have fun with it. Play with them. Have multiple horses. It's a great thing. That's the wonderful thing about Liberty work is it's free. You're just having fun. It's a time that you get to stop and we work. My horses work so hard in the saddle and they give all that they've got every time I sit on them inside the saddle. So this stuff's important to say, let's have fun. Let's stop working on all the performance maneuvers and the advanced stuff and the working equitation. Let's just have fun. Let's stop working on collected work and work on bending and relaxing and playing with each other and bringing a little bit more fun back into the relationship. Horses can get sour really quick by just working all the time. Really quick. Okay, more questions. Only got a few minutes left. 4 minutes left. Yeah. I've worked with both. The question was, in the past I've said I've worked with John a lot. Have I worked with John and Josh both? I've worked with them both a lot. Josh teaches the certification course, which I did go through, and the accreditation course, which I did go through years ago, and I learned a lot of great stuff from them. So I developed a great relationship with Josh as well. And John, I got to go on the road with and at clinics and expos and stuff. So I learned a lot about teaching from John. So much about teaching from John. So it's a great dynamic with both of them. Wonderful teachers. You hear John when... Yep, that happens. It's good for you. That's what it is. He burned that into my mind, and now I say it all the time. Yep, that's what happens. Very good. Another question? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm driving. Okay, so the question was with the horse, aggressive horse, bad attitude horse that wants to charge towards me. I talked about throwing the lariat to the horse. And the spot that I throw it to is usually right at their jaw. And I aim it so that it goes right here. Or it oftentimes lands under them, but the pressure is right at that, because that's the spot I want to go away. That's the spot that's hunting me down. The ears are pinned, the eyes are glaring and saying, I want to eat you for lunch. So I want to send that spot away. I want to say, that spot, you got to get out of here. I can work with the rest of your body, I can't work with that. Yeah, outside turn. And I'll do those outside turns and I'll say, no, your feet are mine. I own your feet. You earn the right to come in. If I throw at the hip, he's probably going to come at me faster. That's the motor. That's the motor. So at that point, I would step down on the gas pedal and I would say, go faster. Yep. Yep, so it's the direction, it's the saying drive away. And then eventually it becomes the shoulders as well. I can drive the shoulders away. So sometimes if I throw the rope, if it's not always at the nose, it can go towards the shoulder or the girth line to drive that spot away. The front end of the horse. Drive the front end away. Good question. Yeah.
Aiden. Dad's not there.
Right. Why do they think that? Well, without seeing, okay, so the question was, she's lunging and she bends down to pick up the lunge whip and the horse goes faster. With, right, so, so the thing that would pop into my head, and this isn't necessarily the true, but my first thought would be, without seeing you do it, is that usually, right after you bend down to pick up the lunge whip, you ask them to go forward. So he's anticipating the cue. He's gotten softer to the cue. He's responded to your vocal rather than your seat, rather than your rein. So he already knows that you're reaching down to get the whip, it means go faster. Well, if I do it before she even touches the whip, the reward comes sooner, and I don't even have to feel the pressure of the whip. So it's a good thing. Kiss him. Kiss him. He said, this is wonderful, you're anticipating, but it's not a behavior that you'd like. So what I would say is, don't do that. Don't leave it on the ground, then pick it up. Hold it in your hand the whole time. And then teach him the transitions. Teach him, one way to do it is that when the whip goes higher, the energy goes up. When the whip goes lower, the energy comes down. But the whip's still inside your hand. So at that point, if you're reaching down for the whip's on the ground. If you pick it up, the whip's still pointed down, the energy should still be low until it's raised up. Yeah, point it out, reach towards their girth of their shoulder. I do the same thing, particularly when I'm starting lunging. I use a solid stick, and I start them close to me. When I do lunging, even traditional lunging, I still do changes of direction without stopping and switching and all that kind of stuff. I teach them, I do the same thing I'm doing here, except where I have a lunge rope on them. So I'm drawing the shoulder, I'm reaching out, I'm touching this point, saying that point, move away. So that eventually, I like to do straight lines, turns, everything when I'm lunging, especially at trot and canter. So that gives me a way that if I need to say straight line or bend more, or give me your rib cage, I can reach out and pinpoint that and say shoulder, rib cage. If I have a horse that doesn't know how to bend around the circle and while he's lunging and goes to the outside, heaven forbid, then I can teach him, just as we did with the shoulder and around the circle, this means bend and engage your inside hind leg forwards by reaching out towards that point and saying, give your rib cage away, the rest of it bend around me. So you can use that as well. And you can even use that as transitions. You can do the same thing. By the bending and drawing him into me and bending, if he bends more, it's harder for him to go faster. So I can slow him down that way if I have to as well. That's another way. Little circles, yep, slows them down as well. That's another way. Good. Sometimes. Sometimes. Very good. All right, other questions? I think I'm all out of time. I am. All right, my booth is number 419, directly this way on the other side of the tractors. I would love to meet you guys, love to talk with you about anything and everything. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. We'll see you there.